the region where Israel is located was referred to as Palestine at least as early as the 5th century BC. Writings from such men as Aristotle, Herodotus, and Plutarch all refer to this area as Palestine. Christian Zionism is a political and religious ideology that advocates the return of the Jewish people to Palestine. It holds that the founding of the State of Israel in 1948 was in accordance with biblical prophecies in the Old Testament, that the eschatological gathering of Jews is a necessary condition for the second coming of Jesus Christ. The term began to be used in the mid-20th century in place of Christian restorationism, as proponents of the ideology rallied behind Zionists in support of a Jewish national homeland. Christian restorationism is used to describe the 19th century movement based on this belief that the Jewish people must be restored to the promised land in fulfillment of biblical prophecy. William Henry Hechler was an English restorationist priest, eschatological writer, and promoter of Zionism. He was also aide, counselor, and legitimizer of Theodor Herzl, the founder of modern Zionism. In 1884, Hechler wrote his own treatise, The Restoration of the Jews to Palestine. He called for the Jews to return to Palestine as a precondition for the return of Jesus. He collected Bibles, maps of Palestine, and he studied the Bible closely, working out timelines for the restoration of the Jews and the second coming of Jesus. In 1873, Hechler became the household tutor to the children of Frederick I, Grand Duke of Baden. Frederick was the son of Leopold, Grand Duke of Baden, and Princess Sophie of Sweden, who was the daughter of King Gustav IV Adolf of Sweden and his wife Frederica of Baden. While at the Grand Duke's court, Hechler expounded on his restorationist views, and Hechler's theology resonated with the Grand Duke. Theodor Herzl was an Austro-Hungarian Jewish lawyer and the father of modern political Zionism. Herzl formed the Zionist organization and promoted Jewish immigration to Palestine in an effort to form a Jewish state. Herzl's solution to anti-Semitism was simple. If any country did not want Jews, the Jewish solution was to establish a Jewish state. Herzl's diary entry, June 12, 1895, reads, "It would be an excellent idea to call in respectable, accredited anti-Semites as liquidators of property. To the people, they would vouch for the fact that we do not wish to bring about the impoverishment of the countries that we leave. At first, they must not be given large fees for this, otherwise we shall spoil our instruments and make them despicable as stooges of the Jews. Later, their fees will increase, and in the end, we shall have only Gentile officials in the countries from which we have emigrated. The anti-Semites will become our most dependable friends, the anti-Semitic countries our allies. We want to emigrate as respected people." On the 10th of March, 1896, Herzl recorded in his diary his first meeting with Reverend Hechler. In his diary, Herzl records his true motivation for coming to see Hechler. Herzl had no access to the German royal family and international legitimacy. He needed Hechler to help gain recognition by a great European power, of his ideas regarding political Zionism. On April 25th, Hechler brought Herzl to a private meeting with the Grand Duke. It was the first time that Herzl was able to share his vision of political Zionism with German royalty and his solution to the Jewish problem. Hechler showed the Grand Duke the prophetic tables, and the Grand Duke was very taken with Hechler's eschatological predictions and with Herzl's pragmatic solution to the Jewish problem. The Grand Duke became a lifelong advocate of Herzl and the Zionist cause. He had a key role in the history of Zionism and helped Herzl in obtaining a meeting with his nephew, Wilhelm II, German Emperor. He used his office and his relationship with his nephew to support Herzl and Zionism. Throughout 1897, Hechler worked to introduce Herzl to the Christian world, speaking at every opportunity and writing to every interested clergyman. August 1897, Theodor Herzl convoked the First World Zionist Congress. Herzl invited Hechler to the Congress as a non-voting delegate and the first Christian Zionist. Hechler continued spreading the word about Zionism. He lived to see the political Zionist movement that he had worked and succeeded in legitimizing in public opinion, given the backing of a major European world power. In 1931, at the age of 85, he died alone. 17 years after Hechler's passing, the State of Israel came into being in 1948.